Hey there, can you introduce yourself for the people?
Hello, I'm Ian Worthington, aka Worthikids.
That's fantastic. Now, Ian, what I like to tell people is the obvious. I like to state the obvious here on this show. We're not in real space. We're in digital space right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the internet is real. We'll get to that. But right now, I want you to help me create the digital environment that this video will live in forever. So what I'll ask you is, if you could make a physical location to live in permanently, if you could make your home out of one internet video, what would it be?
Ooh, one internet video. Oh no, that's too dark.
Wait. What was your first idea? Was it salad fingers?
Oh no, it's similar to that. It's
Okay.
it's a CGI short from I think it's from like the early 2000s. It's called Banjo Gyro, like the Greek food.
Okay,
And it's
Banjo
these guys working at a restaurant, and the restaurant's inhabited by demons. I don't think I'd
Whoa.
actually want to live there. It
Oh,
just popped into my mind though.
wow. Nice. If some schmuck asked you to describe what it is that you do, how would you describe that?
Um, I would say I usually say I'm a freelance animator, although I do quite a bit of illustration as well, just like still commissions,
Right.
like colored art and stuff. But the main thing I do is freelance animation for various small studios and also for fun stuff, which is mostly what's on my YouTube.
When did you start using Flash? When did you start knowing that that's what you animate with? That's what I got to use to animate.
I wouldn't have known like a week ago, but for a Twitter meme, which was 2012 versus 2018, and you show a picture of yourself in 2012, I ended up looking through my Tumblr blog, and I found out a couple things. A, I started my Tumblr in 2012. I didn't know that. And I started using Flash. I found my very first forays into Flash in 2012, and I was like, oh, I didn't know it was that specific year.
What was your first thing? Do you remember what it was? Do you remember making it?
It's going to be a lot of, if you know the web comic Homestuck.
Yeah,
It
I
was
know. I know.
very popular at the time. I was very into it. I did a lot of fan art. That was probably the first thing I drew in Flash.
The deep YouTube stuff, like, do you remember, like, the first time you were sort of introduced to this stuff as opposed to, like, whatever, like, Logan Paul, like, Jenna Marbles stuff, like, there's that other part of YouTube, like,
Like, yeah, like mainstream YouTube. Yeah.
right. Do you feel like you were just immediately just drawn to that stuff from the beginning?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever really sought it out. Anytime it's been outside of YouTube, mostly when I find that stuff, usually on Tumblr, someone will. I think that's how I found that like Banjo Euro thing was on Tumblr.
Ah,
Some
yeah,
people were
yeah.
drawing fan art, and then they link to the video, and I'm just like, what the heck is this? And then like just recently I found something I thought was really cool. A musician, animator dude. And I only found him through Twitter because a friend of mine retweeted one of his videos, and I was like, "Oh, I bet he's on YouTube." Oh, he is. Oh, that's cool. I'm not really good at like excavating like good like cool YouTube
Oh,
content.
okay,
That's not
okay.
my thing. I'm bad at it.
I mean, because you're busy making stuff, too.
Yeah, certainly.
I mean, like that's something that I'm struggling a little bit with now is sort of a social media jealousy or getting stuck in like loops where you're looking at a lot other people's shit, which is good. It's good to look at other people's stuff, but it's like you also don't want to be sitting there consuming content all day. Like if
Yeah.
and because there's so much amazing stuff out there, and it is easy to get trapped in this loop of like, well, okay, I haven't made anything in the past month because I'm sitting here looking at like, all these awesome music videos or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I also get discouraged if they're doing something that I wanted to do and they're like, getting a lot of attention for it. And it's
Right,
just
right.
like, there's room enough, of course, for me to do something similar,
Of
but
course.
it still kind of sucks. It's still like, but they're already doing it and they're doing it really well. And now I can't do it. I can't.
I know it's a silly I don't know. I heard some smart guy has a book out there where it's about things that sort of hold us back creatively, and he just calls it the resistance in general. It's just everything inside of you. Yeah, the resistance is just like, it's been done already. It's all derivative. Like, why are you even doing this? But that's the thing that we have to fight every day, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah.
And just showing up is like 95% of the time that's enough. You know what I mean? Just being there, like you show up at your desk and you know, like the drawing, like whatever it is you're about to do, it's like at this point you've far surpassed the part where you're concerned, am I just a hobbyist? Am I a real artist? Like you're past that. Now you're at the point where it's like, if you draw something, it's gonna look like you want it to look. You're not at that point where, like, you remember like when you were a kid and you're trying to draw hands and you're like, it just doesn't look like. You're past that stuff, so now it's like you get to this weird phase of you're just convincing yourself to just get out there and hammer away at it, and you might get like 10% of super happiness. Like, do you like what percentage of your projects do you feel like you're ecstatic about versus, like we said, like the slog, like just going through it?
I guess it depends on the project. But I try to only pick projects that I enjoy. So, you know, like I'm not going to make a reanimation of some clip I hate or something.
Oh, yeah.
I think I enjoy almost the whole thing. What I don't like is I don't like the physical limitations where my wrist starts to give out or my thumb really hurts and I'm just like, screw you, I'm drawing and I'm having fun.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
I won't have the conviction or energy to draw like 2 days from now. And I have it now, so you better not give out on me. And you know, you can avoid that with like breaks and stuff, but I'm having fun. I can't take a break. I can't think about that.
Do you take, I mean, what do you do during your breaks while you're icing your thumb? You play guitar, right?
I do. I play a couple instruments, mainly guitar. The problem is when you start to get like just a little bit of like, you know, ghost carpal, just like the ghost of carpal tunnel syndrome, you can't even play instruments. Like, or at least I can't. My hand gets locked up. I hadn't gotten that for a while until I did the Brockhampton Boogie animation.
Right.
I spent a whole day animating like one shot, and I should have taken a break. I threw out my wrists, and I was like, you know, hey, this really hurts. And then the next day, I was just like, oh, I can't draw today. Wow. And I took the whole day off. And the day after that, I was, you know, I kind of slowly got back into it. But I took this, it sucked. I was like, it was so close to being done. It was the second to last shot, I think. And I was like, I have to take a whole day off because my hand can't do it anymore.
Matt, what keeps you in those moments, just knowing that the finish line is there?
That's the most energizing thing, I think.
Yeah.
That's why I do these, you know, quite short, because bigger projects, you do not get that satisfaction for so long.
You're
but
right.
Like these short ones, if you keep that initial momentum, you can get relatively close to the finish line. The closer you get, the more it's just like, no sleep, no food, let's go. Let's get it done.
What do you wish existed on the internet that doesn't? I don't just mean a video. I mean in terms of place. Like, and I'll give you. Do you want me to start with mine to sort of get you going?
Oh yeah, hit me up.
I want a place where people can put really experimental animations, like almost like a TV, like Adult Swim level, like where animators can really experiment with strange stories, like tell a Batman story using only shapes and like 3 colors or something like that. You have full audio but just shapes, and you get 10 seconds and they give animators like a bunch of slots to do it or something like that. That's the kind of stuff that I wish existed, like a place for animators to go crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I think YouTube kind of limits the creativity of animators because it has to be at least vaguely marketable. Otherwise, people won't watch it and it won't get any views.
Yeah.
I think what I would personally just love would be like a studio, kind of like Studio Yada, which you know, if you know Studio Yada, they hire animators from around the world. They don't have to be in a specific office. It's kind of an internet thing.
Okay.
But they still take jobs from like studios and people that commission them. I would love a studio that has enough notoriety that's completely fan funded, almost like the Max Fun Network, which is like a podcast network. That's like completely fan funded. If it was just a studio that's like funded by fans and they get like guest directors to make, you know, like a 10-minute short, I feel like you can get so much done in 10 minutes as an animator. You can make something great.
Right. Describe your ideal gig. So what sort of gig, if it fell into your lap, if you got that email, for instance, Marvel is like, yo, Ian, we need you to do, who's your favorite superhero?
I'll just say Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man.
Like, what's your crazy dream gig? Like, if they came to you asking for a Spider-Man project, like something that would make you lose your mind, like right now, what would you want to see in your inbox?
I think what I would love right now, and just this feeling could change, but you know, if you've seen my latest animations, you'll know what I'm really into right now, which is music videos.
Yeah.
If Marvel was like, we have an artist, a musician who has this song and they want a little promo clip for the song, and they've asked that it be like Spider-Man related, like maybe they're in it too. And so if you could make like a minute long, just wild, you know, you have full control, just make sure it's Spider-Man related and it's set to the song and you're good to go. That would be awesome. I would love that.
Ian, thanks so much for being on here, man. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dom. It's been awesome.
What I look like, a violin?
Keep it, it's yours.
Hmm?